Welcome to Manifest the Big Stuff, your intentional manifesting reminder and tune up, where I discuss cutting edge ways to take advantage of new paradigms from quantum physics that actually allow you to manifest some of your most important desires. Today's episode is a real-time demonstration of my belief-raising process in action. The process which forms the basis for all of the books in my Why Quantum Physicists book series. Today, I'm going to walk you through using my belief-raising process in real time as I begin to use it on a displeasing part of my reality. And I'm going to share when and how I knew it was time to work my belief-raising process again, as well as how I began to do so. And I'm super excited to demonstrate for you how my belief-raising process manifests a better version of reality immediately, right from the start. I'm Greg Kuhn, the Law of Attraction science guy, author of the life-changing Why Quantum Physicists book series, and your host. This topic is immensely personal and of the utmost importance. It's a perfect recipe for a power-packed episode. So, let's get started. Each week, Manifest the Big Stuff is a snapshot of my intentional manifesting life. You hear about what I've been focused on this week, what I'm learning, what I'm doing, what I'm thinking about. Today's episode is about me not being successful at manifesting my reality as I desire. Today's episode is about me using my belief-raising process again, as I've done many times and hopefully will have the opportunity to do many more. The belief-raising process, which is the basis for all of the books in my life-changing Why Quantum Physicists book series, which you can easily find on Amazon. I'm going to talk to you about using my process in real time, because just today, I started using it on a painful part of my reality, an important part of my reality, where I realized I am not vibrationally aligned with my desires. I'm referring to my desire to write my next book, a desire I thought would be no problem to manifest. Here is some history behind my expectations for successfully manifesting my next book. I have already published 7 books about the law of attraction and intentional manifesting. They have always been popular and sold well. Search on Amazon for Greg Kuhn if you haven't read them all. People especially like my books, I've been told, because they have a unique and steadfast focus on how science in general and quantum physics specifically instructs us to manifest a more desirable reality. That's why people started calling me the Law of Attraction science guy. And it's why many people love what I write and what I have to say about manifesting. I've also gotten emails from counselors and therapists who use my books in their work because, I've been told, of how much emphasis I put on feeling your actual feelings in order to raise your beliefs. I even got to correspond with a man who found my book, Why Quantum Physicists Do Not Fail, in his prison library. According to him, it changed who he was and led him to a successful post-prison life. Back when I was doing speaking engagements and workshops, people brought me in all the time. I'll start doing speaking engagements again soon because they are incredibly fun. I went all over the place, Chicago, Minneapolis, Indianapolis, Nashville, Louisville. I've done law of attraction coaching focused on manifesting money and other desires, and I had a waiting list. My penny experiment is featured in Pam Grout's New York Times bestseller, E Cubed. And bear in mind, all of this happened while being the law of attraction science guy only part-time. But I'm not part-time anymore. In January 2022, I started this podcast and launched my new website with a blog in preparation for my retirement from the Jefferson County Public School System. The 2021-22 school year was my last. Officially, as of July 1st, 2022, I am retired from the Jefferson County Public School System after 28 years. I loved almost every minute of my work for Central High School, where I taught, and DuPont Manual High School, where I served as an assistant principal, admissions director, and executive director of the Crimson Mission, Manual's alumni foundation. After 28 years, here I am, with 30 high-quality podcast episodes already in my publishing portfolio, a blog on my website, and my newsletter, Quantum Thoughts, which, by the way, you need to be subscribed to. Or please subscribe to it. To do that, go to whyquantumphysicists.com and download a free copy of my foundational book called How Reversing 7 Words Can Change Your Life. And you can download a free copy of my emotional reference chart, which is integral to using my belief raising process. Download either one, and I'll be able to stay in touch with you about manifesting. Making this podcast is exciting. I love the thought of you listening to me share from the heart about how I actually live. It makes me want to hear from you in return, though, hence my request for us to be able to stay in touch. I've known another book was coming for a while. I love to write about manifesting your reality differently, and I have a lot to say, especially since my last book. And given it's past July 1st, and I'm now the Law of Attraction Science guy full-time, let's go. What better way to kick off my second career than with a new book? Time for book number 8. So, I officially started book 8 last week, somewhere around July 25th. I've got a working title, a rough outline, and I've even done a little bit of writing on it. This week, I fully expected that book to come pouring out of me because it's a great idea for a book. It's going to be easy to digest and very insightful. Based on my history, I like this idea so much, I should be waking up before my alarm to start writing. But that hasn't happened. Instead, this week, I've been finding reasons not to write. Suddenly, our bushes need to be trimmed. Suddenly, I was interested in this reality show about the Skinwalker Ranch. Suddenly, our dogs needed longer walks. I was being productive, but I was also willfully allowing my writing time to slip away each day. By Thursday, today, I was getting nervous. Was I really going to be able to write this book? Do I really want to write this book? What's going on here? Each morning, I journal to align myself vibrationally with my desires. And this morning, I began my belief raising process on my desire to write my next book. This morning, I wrote about how I really feel about writing book number 8. Because this part of my reality was, right now, very far removed from where I desired, from where I expected. My reality was painful here. I felt worried about it. As much as I wish it were otherwise, my current beliefs are obviously not capable of manifesting the reality I desire here. I did not expect this. This podcast, for example, has been a fun downstream ride. It flows, and it's enjoyable to create. Surely, I thought, my book will be the same. Yet, here I am, needing to raise my beliefs into alignment with my desires again. So here is that process in action, in real time. This very morning, I wrote about how I really felt about my desire and my efforts to write my next book, about how my inability to manifest a desirable version of reality here makes me feel about me, who I am, and my life. I was radically honest with myself, holding nothing back. I wrote all about how worried I felt about writing this book, and how nervous I was about not wanting to write, about not feeling excited about writing. It was not pretty. It was ugly. What else might you expect to find? Answering those questions about a painful part of your reality. But, and I want to stress this, I did not make those painful feelings real by writing about them. Feelings are already real. They're real whether you feel them or not. So, you may as well feel them. Nor did I manifest more painful versions of this part of my reality by writing about my painful feelings. Feelings do not manifest your reality. They inform how aligned or unaligned your current beliefs are with your desired version of this part of reality. Especially in areas of your reality where you know a better experience is possible, feelings are essential information. They never lie, and they always reveal questions you need to answer, decisions you need to make, and actions you need to take. They always point you in the right directions to manifest this version of reality differently, as aligned with your desires as possible. After my writing this morning, I used my emotional reference chart to identify my current emotional state about this absent desire. Worry and nervousness was where I found myself. So, I then wrote about my painfully absent desire to manifest book number 8 from the next highest emotional perspective of frustration and aggravation. I asked myself, what is it like to feel frustration and aggravation about my desire and my efforts to write my next book? About how my inability to manifest a desirable version of reality here makes me feel frustrated and aggravated about me, who I am, and my life. And now, after writing from that perspective, I'm currently manifesting my desire to write my next book from that new emotional perspective. After I feel confident that I'm manifesting my desire from the perspective of frustration and aggravation, I'll then write about it from the perspective of the next highest emotional state, which is unease and discontent. It usually takes me anywhere from 1 to 3 days to feel confident and begin writing from the next highest emotional perspective on the chart. I'll keep following this process deliberately until I have written and manifested my way to the top of my emotional reference chart. Now, you might hear all this and say, but Greg, frustration and aggravation are hardly improvements at all over where you started. That isn't a positive emotional state, and it's not going to manifest your reality the way you want. To which I'll say, you're right. And in fact, you've just highlighted the secret behind why my belief raising process is so incredibly effective and powerful. It intentionally keeps the improvements minimal. Sometimes there's hardly a discernible improvement at all, in fact, at least on the surface. That's intentional because it allows your subconscious to not only hear, but more importantly, believe your new emotional perspective. Your new emotional perspective is believable to your subconscious because of those incremental improvements, which means your subconscious allows it to influence your beliefs, to raise them ever so gently and incrementally into greater alignment with your desires, one small step at a time. The effect is that of leading a wild rabbit to your back porch by setting out bread each morning and putting it inches closer to your porch each day. Your subconscious is only too happy to allow your beliefs to change, to become aligned with your desires in any area of your life, as long as you speak the truth to it emotionally. Which is why positive affirmations, while great for getting you back on track, are not good for raising your beliefs. In an area of your life where you're usually as successful as you desire, but you're hitting some potholes and you've gotten off track, positive affirmations remind you about the capable beliefs you already possess, and they're great at getting you back on that track. But positive affirmations are not good for growing your beliefs into alignment with your desires, because the positivity of a traditional positive affirmation is too much of a quantum leap in comparison to how you really feel. They're a quantum leap that usually makes you feel better in the moment, but one which your subconscious recognizes as inauthentic. And thus, your subconscious refuses to allow it entry. It refuses to allow it to influence your amygdala and change your beliefs. So the upshot here at the moment is that I am not into the positive emotional perspectives on my emotional reference chart. I have 7 more writing sessions until I get to positive emotional states on the chart. But even the next highest negative emotion is actually slightly more aligned than its predecessor. You'll see what I mean by that as you use the process and write about a new emotional state. My new emotional state is still far from where I want it to be, but each tick up the emotional reference chart provides an emotional perspective that's a little more empowering, one that engages you in your own solutions a bit more, sometimes to your surprise. It's a little more positive and slightly more aligned. So this episode isn't going to end with me saying, and because of all this, my new book is now finished. No, not at all. I'm currently manifesting that desire from the perspective of frustration and aggravation, after all. But as my writing has revealed, frustration and aggravation is a more forward-facing, self-empowering perspective than worry and nervousness. So, while the reality I'm manifesting in this area of my life is still far from where I truly desire it to be, it is slightly improved in accord with the slightly greater empowerment that frustration and aggravation provide me. I see and understand this part of my reality a little more in line with my desires for it. I see and understand opportunities differently from this perspective, some of which I couldn't see at all before. And that happens with each tick up the emotional reference chart. You do not have to wait until you get to the positive emotional perspectives to manifest a better version of your reality. You get to do it immediately, right from the start. And it just keeps getting better as you go. With persistence, patience, and effort, you will get to the top of the emotional reference chart. That emotional perspective, which is love and ecstasy, won't manifest your desire for you, but it puts you in full vibrational alignment with your desire. It means you've filled your pool with water that is perfect for swimming. So you've now got the best possible environment and potential to swim or manifest like a champion. So, no, I'm not yet manifesting this part of my reality as I truly desire. But I can authentically report that after only one day spent using my belief-raising process on it, I'm in the process of manifesting it as I truly desire. And that feels great in and of itself. And I am already manifesting this part of my reality a little more like I want, a little more aligned with my desires, right now, well before I get to the positive emotions. And I know that even brighter days are ahead, step by step, as long as I'm persistent, patient, and give my best effort each day. And now, my quantum tip, a brief, powerful takeaway that you can employ in your life right now. The best way to manifest your desired experiences is to follow form, or adhere to the best practices and success habits of people whose reality you would like to emulate. Find out, how do these people prepare themselves? How do they invest their time? What do they do? And as you manifest your desired reality, give your best effort to make their form your form. Your time is valuable. I work hard to deserve you investing it with me here. If you've gotten value today, thank you for the opportunity. And please, tell a friend about Manifest the Big Stuff. And also, remember to help us stay in contact. If you haven't done it yet, download your free copy of my life-changing introductory book, How Reversing 7 Words Can Change Your Life. Come to my website right now, in fact, and do that. whyquantumphysicists.com. Your presence here with me provides a lot of positive energy. Thank you. Let's do this again real soon.